much.
Pretty
So,
good, dude.
We were talking to Pat yesterday about sack numbers, and I think EJ pointed out you guys are tied for 11th in the country in sacks, and obviously playing two teams that ran the ball a lot in Cincinnati and West Virginia. I'm curious about numbers aside. Does it feel like your pass rush is impacting the game the way you need it to and want it to?
I mean, the knee-jerk reaction to that would be no, based on our record and the way games are ending up. I mean, guys, I don't care if we're last in the country in sacks or first in the country in sacks if we're winning games, right, at the end of the day. So it's part of our goals. It's part of one of the individual stats that we look at. Certainly something that we take a lot of pride in. But we've got to find a way to force more takeaways, right? I mean, the number one stat, everyone knows this, it's been worn out because it's true. You got to find a way to take the ball away and give the offense extra possessions. I heard you guys talking to Borbs, trying not to get long-winded here, but you talk about number of possessions. On average, prior to this rule change, you're somewhere between 6 and 7, possessions per half, up to 14, maybe even 15 possessions per game. On average, that's down now closer to 12 possessions per game. So it's real. We got to find a way to get the ball back.
How's Deion playing the first four?
He's doing good things. He's better than he was. He's better than he was earlier in the year. He's better than he was a year ago. He's got a long way to go till his ceiling, and I'm excited to help him reach that ceiling. And he's working at it. I am proud of the way he's approaching his daily routine.
do you feel like your ends are balancing well how to contain the run game, but also maintain their pass rush coming off the edge?
They're doing good things. I mean, there's certainly things, and a lot of it leads to just disrupting the run game, getting ahead of the chains, right? So put them in a predictable position so we increase the odds of us getting a takeaway. Those are the things that we're really trying to emphasize this week to change the tide, to give the offense a short field. Coach gave us a stat. You guys can fact check this. It's somewhere close to what I'm going to say. During fall camp, Coach goes through the 7 keys to winning, and again, talking about turnovers, and I believe his record is somewhere near, or was, 40-6 with his whole time here, 40-6 when you win the turnover battle. 40-6, guys, right? I mean, think about that. So everything we're doing, we're trying to, improve on the things that we're doing well. We're trying to find the things that we're not doing well, like what I'm talking about, forcing takeaways. We're putting an extra emphasis on that.
Charlie, are you happy with your depth right now? Or are you looking to see a little bit more from some of those rotational guys who are getting their first playing time here?
I'm happy with the rotational guys and what they're coming in and doing when they're doing it. I'm doing some sorting out with, there's 3 DNs that I'm working my way through and seeing who's going to have the impact between Samo, Jimmy Scott, and Nakai Johnson. Not disappointed in any of those 3. I'm waiting for one of them to take that jump, take that leap, separate themselves as an example. The D tackles, obviously, we're excited about the growth of Jules. You have the 3 senior D tackles, the 3 6-year guys. And I'm certainly, Fitz is a little bit nicked up, but he's working his way back as we speak. So excited to see him get some more playing time this week. So I'm happy with it, but I'm waiting for some guys to take that dominating, I'm here, I'm your next guy step, because I'm still waiting to see that.
What does Deion have to do to reach that ceiling you talked about?
It honestly comes down to a consistent, high performance level of focus. When you start reaching into the level of, not trying to live backwards, but you have comparisons, right? When you start jumping into the world of Twyman and Weaver and Jones and Kalijah, there is such a level of focus. And I can go back to JJ and Trey Hendrickson and just guys that reach that pinnacle of the sport at this level. Their ability to focus, regardless of the white noise around them on a daily basis, is admirable. And Deion at times is there. His consistency there is this next step he has to take to become that kind of a guy.
What have you seen out of Bam Bremer this season?
I'm really proud of Bam. Bam's come a long way. I mean, a long way when I think back about where he's come to get to where he is. He's playing physical. He's defeating blocks. I'm anxious to see him continue to become more of a factor in pass rush, but there's a lot about Bam that I'm proud of, and I think he'll take another step this week and hopefully force a takeaway.
What have you seen from the focus of your defensive front when other teams have built late leads and they got to keep fighting to try to give the offense another chance?
And again, moral victories don't exist, and there certainly isn't moral victories within a loss. Mm-hmm. However, the intensity and the positive attitude and the fact that we got, I think it was 3 3-and-outs in a row, for something like that at the end of the game. Drake May was still in there. Their starting O-line was still in there. And we got, because we understand, our offense was in 2-minute mode, so that is what it is. Couple short fields, no flinch. I mean, you can build on that. It doesn't give the fans a victory. We want to desperately give Pitt Nation a victory, Panther Nation a victory, but there's something to build on from a character standpoint in those last few drives at the end of the game.
Anything else for Charlie?
Appreciate you.